Over here. How many of you guys like taking a train? All right. Unfortunately, in the last couple of years, we've had a couple of train accidents, which we never want to happen again, but it's happened a couple of times the last few years. Our aviation transportation expert, Rich, is going to talk about it and shed a little light on it that let's hope that we don't have another one of these mishap tragedies in the near future. So, Rich, let's have a talk about Amtrak.
Absolutely, Howie. First of all, congrats to Long Beach and Oceanside. You guys rock, even if you beat Massapequa, which is where I'm from, you rock. Anyway, on May 12th, 2015, we suffered one of the worst derailments in the history of the rail network for Amtrak. It was a New York-bound Metroliner train. Now, for those who are not familiar with Amtrak, there are two classes of trains that they run. Metroliner, which is the standard Northeast Direct. That's what the execs usually take, and congressmen. And then you have the Acela, which is the high-speed bullet trains like the ones you see in France and Japan. I'm going to break down what went down in Philadelphia. This train was traveling heading towards Trenton, New Jersey at a speed of 100 miles an hour when it approached the Libertine section of Philadelphia. This is northern Philly. Anyone who's been to Philly knows the area. This is by the Betsy Ross Bridge. When you go down towards that curve, the engineers usually will take this curve at about 70 miles per hour. Now, the engine in question, and I'm bringing this up because a lot of people have been asking, well, what kind of equipment have they been operating? This was a brand new engine built by Siemens, which is the same company that builds the light rail for New Jersey Transit. It's an ACS 64. It has a top speed of 120 miles per hour and runs on overhead catenary lines for power. Now, if he was indeed doing the 100 miles per hour, which my source in Philly informed me that he was, there would have been all kinds of warning bells and signals. The curve was rated for 70 miles per hour, not 100. And this area is very populated. There's a shopping center right by there with a Home Depot. There's also a rail yard that Norfolk Southern uses to store gasoline. The reason why I bring this up is one of the train cars missed an entire gas train by a mere 100 feet. Had it hit this gas train, the loss of life would have been catastrophic. I just want to bring that up. Now, the preliminary investigation from the National Transportation Safety Board, my source told me that the engineer tested negative for the presence of narcotics as well as for the presence of alcohol. So we can rule out drugs, we can rule out alcohol. The next question is, was he on his cell phone? Now, for this, we go to the National Transportation Safety Board as well as the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which would take control of the investigation if there was a suspicious nature involved, which was originally believed. Their determination was that the engineer was not using his cell phone. They thoroughly checked the SD card in the phone to see if he was texting. He wasn't. So we've ruled this out. This leaves us with two scenarios. The engineer may not have been familiar with the controls of this new locomotive and therefore may have hit the wrong switch, and instead of decelerating the train like he was supposed to, he accelerated, panicking. Now, there has been a lot of speculation about an object that struck the engine before the derailment. Is it possible? I actually did an investigation myself of this area and determined that there is, in fact, a pedestrian bridge right before the curb. It is possible that kids could have been hanging up there. Maybe they threw something at the train. We don't know. We will never know until the surveillance cameras determine what they determine. Now, another thing you will be hearing a lot about in the coming weeks as the NTSB begins to release its reports is something called positive train control, or PTC. I want you to picture, because we have a lot of kids in the audience, when you ride a roller coaster, those brakes that slow you down as you go down that final curve. PTC is a similar system. What it would do is it would alert the engine's computers to slow the train down automatically. Now, the reason why I bring this up is Amtrak had installed it on the westbound track going towards DC, but not on the eastbound track where this train was traveling. Ironically, this system was due to be installed only a week after the disaster happened. So Amtrak knew about it, but didn't install it in time. So to wrap up, I just want to say that for those who travel, PTC is going to be coming to the Long Island Railroad very soon. They've invested about about $500,000 in research just to install it. Once it's installed, it'll be a lifesaver to all of us who take the train. Thank you very much, and congrats to
All right.
Long Beach.
Great job, Rich.
Thank
Said a
you.
lot of interesting information. All right.